Hey folks, Steve Alcorn here with you once again. This is just going to be a quicker one, I hope. I hope I don't fail on this one. This one's pretty simple. This is a Game Boy Color. We're going to throw some batteries in it and see what it does. Remember, I am not an expert. This is not a how-to video. This is just how I go about things when I'm fixing or repairing things. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that like button down below. Share if you think this will help somebody else, and make sure you hit that bell notification button. Anyway, so this is a Game Boy Color. As you can see, it's in pretty nice shape. It's the teal version. I don't know how that comes across on the screen, but this is the teal version. We put some batteries in it. It does work. I've powered it on. Play some Mario Golf. I just wanted to show you that it does power on. Powers on real nice. Okay, so we're going to turn that off. But what's going on with this is not that it doesn't work, but that there is a little bit of battery corrosion in the battery compartment. So much so that I didn't barely notice it when I first opened it, but it's very hard to see. But back in here, way down in there, there's some corrosion. There was some over here I've already cleaned. There's some a little bit in there too. To do a deep clean on this is what I'd rather do, instead of just trying to clean it from the outside. Means we have to take this apart. So to take this apart is real easy. You remove the battery door. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. They may be tri-wing screws, and all that is a special tri-wing driver that you get on eBay, and they're really cheap. So just look up game screwdrivers or something like that, game system screwdrivers or whatever, and you'll come across these tri-wing, T-R-I-wing, and that's what you use to take some of this stuff apart. I'm not sure if these are tri-wing or not. My eyes are not very good, so I have a regular and a tri-wing, and they came in the same packaging, so we'll just go ahead and get that screwdriver in there and start taking the screws out. It's always a good idea to have a little thing to put screws in so you don't lose them. I believe these are all the same size. I've actually had one of these apart. If you're not comfortable taking it apart, you can get in there with the stuff I'm going to use, but to make this right and to make sure there's no further damage, I want to make sure that I check out the insides as well. I doubt that there's any damage. This thing is playing correctly. We're going to just unloosen them all, and then I'll tip them out and then put them in the little bucket there. I call everything a bucket that I put things in, even though it's not. Okay. It's a lot easier than the last one I took apart. Took it apart just to see what was inside, not to fix or repair, although there is a repair video probably coming up on a Game Boy Advance SP. That should be shortly. I'm just waiting on some stuff to arrive for that one. This one just doesn't want to pop out of there, so we'll just see if it's loose. Okay, it's loose. So you just pick that up. Now you'll notice these two stay on, and these two are still in here. So now you might be able to see that corrosion a little bit better. It's way up in there, so it doesn't look like it affected any more of the board. So what I like to do is grab my trusty toothbrush and my isopropyl alcohol, or IPA for you British folk, and just stick that down in there, get it nice and good. This isn't going to hurt your board, and it dries up really fast, so, and just clean it. I should probably be wearing gloves. You could see that there was some white on my hands. Okay, let's see what that looks like now. Looking pretty good. There's a little bit left at the top up there. When it dries, I'll check it out. Now, I'm not going to take anything else off of here because this all looks good. But I did want to make sure that there was no damage in there. Alternatively, you can use a Q-tip and just get in there like that, which I'm going to do a little bit on the top. This is how most people would do it, but I like the toothbrush method. Okay, so that's about it for that side. Now this side, let's check that out. It's actually looking very good. I'm going to go ahead and just clean this a little bit. I thought I saw some in it. This will slide out if you want to take it out. I'm not going to for this particular video because it doesn't really have any real corrosion on it. So there is a little bit underneath there, but I should be able to squeeze in there with this guy and get that all out. It's luckily brand new corrosion, which means it hasn't been in there very long. It was nice and white and chalky. It hadn't caused any rust yet. Okay, we never did put those in there, did we? Okay, so to put this back together, make sure you get any of your dusty stuff off, but that looks much better. There's no corrosion noticeable now. So we'll go ahead and put it together. But to put it back together, these slide up into these holes, and it should just slide right on. Okay, so that's it. So it's all back. The back is back on now, and we'll just start putting the screws back in. It's always good to get a magnetic screwdriver. When you're looking at these on eBay or whatever, they may or may not mention if they're magnetic. These ones I don't recall. I've had them for a while. But now, because I used to work in a car garage, and when you tighten tires up, you do it in a certain pattern. You don't want to get these too tight. I like to do that when I'm doing electronics too, or any other, not that I do a lot of this stuff, but anything I'm taking apart and putting back together. So I'll crisscross. I'll go from one side to the other. So right now I'll put this one in. So I started here, I went there, then I'll go here, then I'll go here, then I'll go here, then I'll go here. Is usually how I like to do this, just to make sure that it tightens down evenly across all your screws. Now I don't know if that's necessary to do, but that's just how I do it. So I went there, so there's already a screw in that one, so I'll just use that screw that's in there, because that's the one that didn't want to come out. And Nintendo made this one pretty easy to get into. Some of the other systems are somewhat harder. The original Nintendo NES system has a lot of screws. I've taken a couple of those apart just to see what was inside. I haven't had a chance to fix one completely yet, but that'll be a future video. I'm not always going to do game systems and electronics. It'll be other things too, but all right, there's a screw hole right there. Let's get that one in. I want to go in very good. I have giant fingers, so sometimes this stuff is hard to do. There we go. I'm just trying to help you guys out and give you confidence that, you know, just because there's screws in something doesn't mean it's all that hard. I have one left. Where does that one go? Okay, that one goes right there. It's not, it is doable. And for the amount of money we pay for some of this stuff, because if you're like me, you're getting it from yard sales and thrift stores, it's okay to damage it. And if worse came to worse, I paid $5 for this system with all the games, but I also have another one. This one does need a lot of work. The volume button doesn't work, but I could have taken parts from this one to put in this one if I needed to. So anyway, we got the screws all back in. We're going to throw the batteries back in it, make sure it still works and that we didn't damage anything inside. And then I'll finish taking my pictures for eBay. Let's try trick border this time. And there we go. I don't know how well you can see that, but it started right up. You see what you guys are seeing on the screen here. There we go. It's hard to see these screens sometimes. Press start. Okay, it works. That works. That works. Okay, so it's all good. A and B, I'm sure, work. Yep, they do. So that's that. Then you just put your battery cover back on, and you're good to go. And that's how you clean battery corrosion out of a Game Boy Color. If you don't want to go ahead and take the whole thing apart, you can get this down in there. And like you saw on this side, I was able to get the swab down in there. Now, what I didn't do is what I should have done is use the wet side, the side with the IPA on it, clean that out, and then take and use the dry side to dry it off. But this stuff I use so little and it dries off so fast that it didn't really matter that much. But anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave me a comment down below.